American Beauty by Stephanie Adkins. The topic I have chosen to explore is racism and assimilation in American beauty standards. What does beauty mean in this country? Is there such thing as there being a universal beauty? Everyone has an idea of what they think beauty is or what it looks like. If you grow up in America, chances are you look to models, actresses, and musicians to help define what your idea of beauty is. Those in the media seem to help set the standard of what beauty is to the rest of us. Most of the time, images that they portray are difficult or even unattainable for the average person. That's not to say we don't try to reach the ideal of what American beauty is by dieting, working out, dyeing our hair, wearing makeup or contacts, clothes, and sometimes even surgery. Light skin and blue eyes do not always equate to beauty, and it is not an automatic ticket to success. In the end, people are so desperate to belong and fit in that sometimes they go to great lengths to accomplish this. The reason I chose my topic is because it seemed to be a repeated issue in many of the readings we did. Really, most every person that we read about was judged immediately by their appearance and what nationality people thought they were. This became evident to me in the very first poem we read, Where is My Country, by Nellie Wong. The speaker in the poem is asked to interpret Korean, is told she speaks perfect English, and is asked if she is Filipino. People make assumptions and react based on those assumptions, and this fascinates me. It also affected me personally. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman who was born in America, and I still feel the pressure of the impossible beauty standards. The pressure and the desire to assimilate and fit in is so strong, I felt like it was something everyone could relate to. The themes and issues I chose to include are assimilation, the American dream, and misogyny in American beauty practices. Assimilation is found throughout the stories we read, but specifically in the stories I highlighted in my presentation. I felt that there was added pressure for women to assimilate their appearance to those of white American women that surrounded them in this country. All of the women that have a voice in the literature we read are looking to belong and feel that they are part of this country. They all have this American dream of belonging and being accepted for who they are. Some get to that understanding eventually. There are obvious examples of misogyny in the text when there are girls desperate enough to change their appearance that they are willing to burn their eyes with blue food coloring and then suffer in silence. Words to know that are helpful are assimilation, the process of being similar to something or a way of adapting to your surroundings, the American dream, which is the thought that through hard work and determination you will prosper, misogyny, a dislike or contempt for or ingrained prejudice against women. These are all themes and issues central to the topic and authors I chose to use. Nellie Wong does an amazing job of giving us a clear picture of what assimilation is and what it is like to desire it. And when I was growing up, the speaker describes herself as an exotic gardenia anxious to fit in. The American dream is another theme that comes up in Nellie Wong's stories. And when I was growing up as well, when the speaker says, when I was growing up, I read magazines and saw movies, blonde movie stars, white skin, sensuous lips, and to be elevated to become a woman, a desirable woman, I began to wear imaginary pale skin. Lastly, misogyny is found in the same poem when she says, when I was growing up, I felt dirty. I thought God made white people clean, and no matter how much I bathed, I could not change. I could not shed my skin in the gray water. Patricia Smith was another author that I chose to highlight and use in my research. She demonstrates assimilation for us in blonde white women and what it's like to be a black girl for those who aren't. I saw it when she says, on the morning train, I flipped through my ebony, marveling at the bargain basement prices for reams of straight hair and bleaches for skin. And then again she mentions popping a bleached white mop head over the kinks of your hair and primping it in front of mirrors that deny your reflection. Smith also demonstrates misogyny really well when she details the lengths the speakers in the poems goes through to achieve their desired look. In one instance, she describes a girl putting food coloring in her eyes and letting them burn in silence. I also saw misogyny in the heartbreaking image she describes when she says, "I remember striving for the breathlessness, toddling my 5-year-old black butt around with a dull gray mop head covering my nappy hair, wishing myself golden, pressing down hard on my carnation pink Crayola. I filled their faces in coloring books, rubbed the waxy sticks across the back of my hand until the skin broke." This is not a story I have ever lived, so it gives me a greater understanding of what this poor child must have been feeling. The last two writers that I included in my slides are Nikki Giovanni and Marilyn Chin. Nikki Giovanni talks about overcoming the image that white journalists have about black people and the love that they have amongst themselves. This is a perfect image of an American dream to me. Marilyn Chin speaks of assimilation even in her name when her father changes her name from Mei Ling to Marilyn. The passage she writes says, "Of course the name changed somewhere between Angel Island and the sea, when my father, the paper person, in the late 1950s, obsessed with a bombshell blonde, transliterated Mei Ling to Marilyn." Here, the American dream is forced upon this Asian woman. In the end, she says, "Survived by everybody and forgotten by all, she was neither white nor black, neither cherished nor vanquished." I felt like this statement was a result of the misogyny she experienced throughout her life. These stories helped me to have a better example of what assimilation meant in the experiences they told. There was so much feeling in the words where the women feel dirty and do things like color their skin until it breaks. These stories tell me that I'm not alone in the pressure I feel to assimilate and the extreme measures that women will go to feel like they belong. They tell me that the American dream is sometimes a crazy thing that will cause people to do things I might consider drastic. Lastly, they show me what misogyny is when even women themselves will mutilate their bodies to get a desired look and feel like they belong. What does physical beauty mean in America? Beauty means different things to different people, and if you ask different ethnic groups, you will get different responses. This is clear from the readings we have done in class. Many have admitted, "I know now that I long to be white, as Nellie Wong did in her poem, When I Was Growing Up." Others will tell stories of popping a bleached white mop head over the kinks of your hair and primping in front of mirrors that deny your reflection, or dropping food coloring in your eyes to make them blue and suffering their burn in silence, like Patricia Smith did in What It's Like to Be a Black Girl, for those of you who aren't. Unfortunately, it seems that beauty in America means being accepted and belonging based on your outward appearance. Why do people feel this way? It would be easy for some to say that to be concerned with your outward appearance means you are being vain or conceited, but there is more to our concern for the way we look. Here are some interesting facts. Attractive children are more popular with classmates and teachers. Attractive job applicants have a better chance of getting hired and having a higher salary. In court, attractive people are found not guilty more often, and when they are found guilty, they are punished less severely. People react more favorably to more physically attractive people. People also tend to believe in the stereotype that what is beautiful is good and what is not is bad. Thanks to the rise in mass media, what the physical norms should be have come to the forefront for most women in America. Thanks to TV, magazines, billboards, and the internet, women are bombarded with exceptionally good-looking images of women daily. It has been estimated that young women now see more images of outstandingly beautiful women in one day than our mothers saw throughout their entire adolescence. and it is also thought that the current media ideal woman is achievable for less than 5% of the female population, and that is just for weight and height. If you factor in other physical attributes, it's much closer to 1% of the female population. It's easy to see how if you are a person of a different race or color, you might feel even more pressure to fit in and have difficulty doing so. What do women do to obtain beauty in America? Americans spend $16 billion per year on cosmetic plastic surgery alone and $8 per day on skin and face products. This must be because of tremendous pressure to be beautiful and fit in this country. The pressure to assimilate to beauty standards are strong. In Patricia Smith's Blonde White Women, she mentions a black female on a train flipping through the pages of Ebony and finding bargain basement prices for blonde straight hair and skin bleaching products. There is some irony that a woman is looking in a magazine geared towards women of color and finding an advertisement for straight blonde hair and skin bleaching products. I find it sad that this is or ever was the case. You also see in Smith's poem What It's Like to Be a Black Girl, a child putting blue food coloring in her eyes to achieve her desired look. It seems that not just girls, but women will go to great lengths to achieve their idea of beauty. Some of the drastic measures women will go to achieve a look and feel of assimilation are surgical and non-surgical procedures. The top 9 non-surgical cosmetic procedures in 2017 were non-surgical fat reduction, fillers, hair restoration, toxins such as Botox, facial lasers, scar treatment, acne treatment, hair removal, and chemical peel. The top 10 surgical procedures were breast augmentation or lift, rhinoplasty, tummy tuck, liposuction, vaginal rejuvenation, butt enhancement, facelift, eyelid surgery, breast reduction, and what is now called the mommy makeover to round out the top 10 surgical procedures. The vast majority of cosmetic procedures are done by people who are considered white, but plastic surgery is on the rise for other ethnic groups as well. From 2005 to 2017, the number of Asians who had cosmetic procedures increased by 146%. For Latinos, the number increased by 77%, and for African Americans, it increased by 72%. Women have by far more cosmetic procedures performed on them than men in the U.S. Beauty trends and pressure to assimilate amongst cultures. In the U.S., there is a lot of pressure to assimilate to the ideal image of what a woman should be or look like. If you come from another culture and are in this country, the things you have to do to achieve this look can be drastic. These things are all done in effort to look like the typical all-American beauty, who just happens to have blonde hair and blue eyes most of the time. If you are a young ethnic female in America, you might have come home at some point, asked your mother, "Mommy, why didn't God make me white?" just as the child did in Sophia Henderson Holmes' The Battle Over and Over Again. Or if you're an Asian American like Marilyn Chin, you felt like you were survived by everybody and forgotten by all. She is neither white nor black, nor cherished nor vanquished. I imagine these authors feel like their skin color was wrong or dirty, and feeling like they aren't appreciated for who they are. There is a desperation there to fit in, belong, and to be appreciated. Caucasian women are not excluded from cosmetic surgery and self-doubt. They in fact make up the vast majority of people getting plastic surgery. There is some irony there, since many ethnic women write about wanting to look like white, blonde-hair, blue-eyed women. The top 5 procedures done by Caucasian women are breast augmentation, liposuction, rhinoplasty, eyelid surgery, and a tummy tuck. Across the board, it seems that most women are seeking larger breasts. I can't help but wonder if this assimilation is for themselves or to draw the attention of men who seek women with larger breasts. This is what we see a lot of times in women in the media. 34, 24, 36 are the measurements we have grown up believing are the perfect measurements, but are completely unrealistic for the everyday woman. More and more African American women are going under the knife and having plastic surgery. In 2016, Black women accounted for 8% of all cosmetic procedures in the U.S. That doesn't sound like a lot until you learn that African Americans make up only 12% of the population. Some of the most requested surgeries by Black women are thinner, more slender noses, thinner thighs and stomachs, tummy tucks, breast lifts or reductions, and butt augmentation. African American women also take part in hair relaxers and lip fillers to achieve their desired look. According to an article on lennyletter.com, Black women are like white women and want to look good. They also, however, are looking to retain their more hourglass figure that corresponds to the 36-26-36 bust-waist hips ratio. Unfortunately, the reality TV star Kim Kardashian comes to mind for me and seems to be a big influence here. If only more Black women had the same opinion as Nikki Giovanni. Black love is Black wealth. The most common surgeries for Asian women are rhinoplasty, breast augmentation, jawline slimming, and eyelid surgery. Many Asian women in the U.S. get the controversial eyelid surgery to try and make their eyes more Caucasian or Western looking and less slanted. This surgery gives them a more double-lidded look like white women traditionally have. The rhinoplasty addresses what is considered a problem in their nose that is listed in Marilyn Chin's poem, How I Got That Name, where she says, "One had a squarish head and a nose without a bridge." Most Asian women are born with noses that have naturally less of a bridge to it due to this undergo surgery to build up the bridge of their nose. Breast augmentation seems to be a popular surgery for women to have across the board once again. Women will say it's to build self-confidence, but I doubt this very much. I believe that the male desire plays a huge role in this. Hispanic women seeking plastic surgery is on the rise, which should not be a shock considering plastic surgery is on the rise for women in general. The difference in cosmetic procedures done by Hispanic women versus other women is that Hispanic women tend to embrace their natural curves. Some of the top procedures performed on Latin women are rhinoplasty or nose jobs, facelifts, and eyelid surgery. Much like Asian women, Hispanic women seek wider eyes and the double eyelid look. This is thanks to women like Jennifer Lopez, Eva Longoria, Shakira, and Salma Hayek. As you can see, Hispanic women from the pictures here are also influenced heavily by Western or Caucasian type features. In conclusion, there are no groups or nationalities of women that are immune to the impossible American beauty standards. Even the white women that closely resemble the ideal woman still seek plastic surgery and ways to make themselves more beautiful to other people. Women in general are continuously looking for ways to feel beautiful and accepted. Whether it's hair dye, makeup, clothes, plastic surgery, or dieting, women go to extremes seeking perfection. If you are a woman born of color and you have extreme challenges to overcome if you want to be considered an all-American beauty. Some will say that times have changed, but they only need to flip through a current magazine or look at the numbers to know that racism in the beauty industry still exists. There are still far less cosmetics, hair care, and other self-care items offered to women of color. Many women are left feeling like the authors of the literature we read. They feel like they are dirty, they don't belong, and that they're overlooked, and that they need to change themselves to belong. The American dream, assimilation, and misogyny are all things that most women experience in their lifetime. It is up to us to rise above and learn to love who we are as we are.